maybe I can tell the stories. Just a year ago, I talked to my friend who is a physician in Turku University, and they all hate EHRs. They all hate systems they forced to work with. I promise that in a couple of years they will talk to the system, so they don't have to open any screens, learn how to navigate in the system. So today's talk is like the first step in this direction. So how we can go to another mode to voice, not just filling forms, yes, but collecting them in a natural way through the voice. Okay, Vitaly,
Yep.
floor is yours. Yeah, jump in.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Vitalii Banchenko from Health Samurai. I'm like tech lead from Forms team, and today I want to present you this like presentation and demo for collecting prompts by voice. And typically, what we have here, typically we have situation when the patient have scheduled appointment to the clinic, and here we have like two interesting parts. Like the first one is every practitioner needs and waiting for the form to be filled before the visit. And at the same time, the patient don't want to participate on those. And typically they skip all the possible chances to fill the form and just fill it just between the visit when they came to the clinic. And what we can do with this, and we understand that people won't fill forms, people all love to talk, and maybe 5 minutes of talk for them is more like relaxing, on the same time not that uh, takes much effort, yeah, than filling the forms. There is a small demo that we try to close the gap for this part, and we built our prototype, like getting the forms by voice, by AI agents. Currently, you can see the like appointments list, and we want to call some patient. For demo purposes, not to talk myself as a patient, I have a demo call part when I can just specify a patient, for example, mood and everything. And currently, bot will talk to bot. Yep, it's
Hello, Daniel. This is your surgical team calling to check in before your upcoming knee replacement. We have about 14 questions, and it should take around 5 to 7 minutes. To start, how has the knee that's scheduled for surgery been feeling lately?
Oh, hello. It's been, it's definitely been noticeable, that's for sure. Still giving me a bit of grief, but nothing I can't manage for now.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today, Daniel. I understand your left knee has been causing you trouble and you're scheduled for a total knee replacement. Can you tell me a little more about the specific problems you've been having with your knee? For example, how has it been affecting your ability to move around or do daily activities?
yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly the stiffness, especially first thing in the morning. It takes a good few minutes to get going. And stairs are not my friend anymore, especially going down.
I hear you. That morning
Yeah.
stiffness.
Yeah, let me just disable the voice just to take faster, because it maybe take 5 minutes and I don't want to take your time here. Yeah, what's interesting, because that is this conversation can be so natural, and it can be like configured or maybe tuned to the way that you need. And currently we have a whole conversation is done, and we can see the summary of this call. We have is a full transcript of the call, a set of questions, and these questions maybe sometimes can be phrased as is in the questionnaires, but sometimes we can make some instruction to tell the questions in more natural and maybe friendly uh, fashion. And also we can like take some patient summary, the whole story of the patient, can get some priorities and concerns from the call, and every concern is like inferred by the model, and we also like can get there an evidence from what the inference, the source of inference was. And for example, in this regard, there was 5 or 6 call, fifths. Yeah, we can see some progress in three-dimensional part. For example, we currently have 5 questionnaires with set of questions in each and 1 score per 1 questionnaire. And we can build such interesting 3D or 2D diagrams when the practitioner can just not to read the whole script, but just to look here and make some decisions. And here we can see the scores for every questionnaire. For example, knee injury CUS form, we have a set of answers like questions. We have page mapped question, mapped answer, and the source of answer. And this is done for every question in a questionnaire. And maybe this is all for demo. Yeah, and typically after this, you already have in your system the extracted questionnaire response, like structured data, and also extracted additional observation or other resources which is specified. And currently, I move on to the presentation to show you how we done this. Yeah, and typically here we have two main parts. One part is questionnaire, and second is just agent and prompt. And questionnaire behaves like a guardrails. It can specify data schema for question, for answer the same question, and what type of options is available. And it can be used by agent by just validate any answer. And at the same time, we have a prompt for agent, and this prompt can be used for tuning the whole conversation. And we have like 2 paces here, like patient talk to agent speaks and never try to understand the whole flow or whole set of questionnaires, and after it speaks every question and takes the results. He can just pass to some extraction point when we get some summary concerns and some red flags and other points. And after that, we can use typical FHIR operations. Yep, and typically these 2 parts, like first one example of the questionnaire, when we have some question like descending stairs and have set of options that are available. And on the right side, we just specify how this interview is gone. What else? Yeah, and here is the interesting point. If you have any questions, maybe I can answer them right now, or I can move further. Okay. Yeah, we have some interesting like experiment here. Initially, we try to experiment with failure. Initially, we try to go with modern tools like specify the whole conversation as set of nodes, like workflow with nodes. Every node contains its separate prompt. Like the whole conversation, for example, begin from introduction. After that, we go to some questions. Third note is just if the answer is not correct to the particular question, we can go to that node and try to rephrase the question or ask once again. And it goes okay to some time, and we have failure with that because it's difficult to upfront know all the states in the conversation. In any part, if we go to the wall, it requires us to change the code itself, and also this model is not good suited for different kind of requirements for the questionnaires. For example, we have like two consultants on our side from like clinicians, and they have like dimensionally different requirements for the questions. One of them requires just the question should be worded as is in the questionnaire, direct question, direct answer. Only direct answer are allowed. And second, clinician wants different flow, like ask, read the whole questionnaires and try to group them and ask a more common and open questions, and like follow the whole conversation and whole story of the patient, try to deepen in some way, and after that try to extract from those story the answers. And these two like different approaches can be like, implemented in the same system. And on those points we have some failure, and to try to rethink what we can do here. And his answer was super simple. Yeah, we just come up with one prompt, with one model, just a loop, and this prompt can be describe the whole workflow internally. And if you like go to the wall, you just go to the prompt and rephrase some parts or add additional instruction to the bot. And this doesn't require to rebuild the system. It just remove those struggling with iteration to improving the whole conversation. Yeah, and the main.
Vitaly, there is a question from John.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
so he is asking, how well does SDC-IG address these needs? I don't know, John, can you clarify which needs?
Yeah.
How good as a prompt for agent? Or how good it is as a contract, which data should be collected?
Sorry about that. Took me a while to get off. So you're talking here about being able to go from node to node with, kind of logic as to which node to go to next.
Yep.
And, what are acceptable answers and those kinds of things. The structured data capture IG is what I mean by SDC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of that, but I just really was unclear whether you had come up with some logic needs that they hadn't yet addressed. Obviously, they're not dealing with voice, but
Yep.
I can see how, adding, some other decoration to each node to support the voice stuff, or just that the voice is smart enough. Anyway, that was just kind of the question. It looked rather similar to SDC needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks interesting, but the guys over-engineered the first solution, and it was very fragile. Yes, Vitaly. So they
Yes.
tried to build state machine from questionnaires, and like trying to be smarter than agent. Yes.
Yep. Technically, yeah, questionnaire is just a source of constraints and questions, but this state machine was just for the conversation.
Correct.
Like,
Yeah,
like-
I was
yeah.
not expecting it was going to do everything. I was just kind of expecting it could be the structure that the AI builds on top of, so it doesn't go down dead ends and those kinds of things.
Yeah, that's how it works, John. So the guys at the end, guys are filling questionnaire. So they are building the conversation based on questionnaire, and the artifact of the call is a questionnaire as an output. So it is like both solution was based on that, but they just dramatically simplified the architecture at the end.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. Currently, LLM is good enough on smart stuff.
But at the end, how you're just saying, hey, agent, here is a questionnaire, and here is your system prompt, and do the call,
Typically, we have not one questionnaire, but a set of them. Yeah, and we have some our like system prompt for our common stuff, like to, for example, how to interview, how to the whole system should know that interview is complete and we can just drop our call. For this part, and typically just instruction how to read the questionnaires and how to come up with answers. And the second part is like system prompt, and the whole part of the prompt for conversation also like merged in the one big prompt. And the second prompt, which is tunable, how to introduce yourself, how to come up with some bad answers, if maybe patient refuse to answer anything, just say him goodbye, and that you maybe reschedule the call for this stuff. Yep. Typically, a prompt, like system prompt is static. It's just how to treat the questionnaires itself, how to extract the data to correct shapes. And the second part is dynamic, which is tunable for the whole conversation flow. How to be maybe how to speak more slowly sometime when the patient in struggle, we can add some parts there that voice can be slowed down, maybe in supportive fashion will yeah talk to the patient. Yeah, it's interesting here. Yeah,
You
just
said you're working on some DSL to describe these emotions, like emotional.
yeah, currently we in the phase of designing this part. We have similar like to currently we have uh, to the first maybe simpler options just to take the whole wording like the turn of the agent, the whole supportive or maybe more calm. But yeah, currently we're working just to make some parts of the whole turn. Maybe first sentence make maybe slower, but next sentences goes okay to make more smart. Yeah. Here we try to make dialogue more dynamic and more natural, and these parts can be configured also in the prompt itself. It's interesting that when you have one prompt, everything else makes simpler. And currently we just store this prompt and can use the same canonical versioning system for this prompt, and it's yeah already have the same benefits as questionnaires. You have prompt with some URL, and you have several versions. You can choose what you want, and for historical data, it's also useful. But when you have different like state machine, you should have one prompt per node, just to reduce the cognitive load for every node. This is typical like fashion how to do not facing interactions. Can I go to the next slide? Okay, yeah, and the main learning here, we stopped programming the dialogue and we started to constrain it. Yeah, before that we constraining state machine, and now we just try to make some constraints with a prompt, and leave the rest to the agent itself. And he can come up with some tricky situation on their own. Yeah, what's
Vitalii,
Mhm.
sorry, I have a quick question on that, on the use of the questions in the dialogue. I believe I understood earlier you said that there was a difference in opinion in the clinicians, that one wanted a very explicit reading the question exactly as it's written in the survey, because these are validated tools, so the
Yeah.
wording, the text is very important. And I guess didn't want any dialogue before or after that, just strictly reading the question, or was there constraints on how much dialogue could be added on the front and the end, but the text itself of the questionnaire always had to be read the same way?
Yeah, currently it doesn't have any restrictions here because it's typically can be like configured or set up for types of questionnaires, because currently can it's yeah we can attach like 5 or 10 questionnaires, but it's too much. Maybe for real situations 5 is enough.
Mhm.
It's maybe yeah we just can skip the set of questions by just setting and touching less number of questionnaires.
But what are you constraining in your prompt? So what are you saying? Be like more informal, less informal. So what are the main points in the prompt?
Yeah, main points just try not to give any suggestion. Try to be like indefinite and not act like some sort of expert. Yeah, and try to be as much
It's
confident as
very,
you
very
can.
generic stuff.
Yep, yep.
Do you have
Typically,
any benchmarks so you're like you can understand that this prompt is better than another one, or it's just
uh,
trial and error?
we have previously, currently we removed this benchmark. I don't have any data currently here. Yeah, but we can, like, we store the whole questionnaire response, the whole transcript, and we build currently a skill for Cloud Code, which can analyze the whole conversation, go to the, for example, currently I can run our demo bot to bot, go to the Cloud Code, say, check this conversation, please, and look on our forms. What problems do we have there? What the problems we get in the result, and how we can tune our like prompt to be much better. Because it's difficult for start. Maybe it's good start by your hands, but after the prompt gets bigger and bigger, it's difficult to do it yourself. And typically you just give evidence and facts what was wrong, and agent is better here to give you suggestions. And the main like point here just to make more iteration with different kind of, yeah, maybe not patience, but personality, and take more different cases and improve the prompt. Just iteration, iteration, iteration. There are no silver bullet here also.
Vitalii, is there any discussion about the tempo of the survey that the user can, if they decide they want to just move more quickly, they don't want to have a full discussion, they wanted to, okay, what's the question? Here's the answer, next one. Because it's sometimes I think members from health plans, especially, we get enough of these surveys. We don't want more of them. Let me just get, I've already done this one. It's once a year. I already know the answers, that kind of thing. Is there anything that's thought on that you could speak to the AI and say, I'm fine, let's pick up the pace. Let's just get to questions and answers.
Yeah, this just typically is tuned by the prompt itself. We don't
Yeah.
have such embedded right now, but we have like different options. If you have several questions with the same, for example, list of answers, just not repeat every answer, set of answers, every option every time. Just try to
Right.
group these questions in one group, enumerate answer options one time, and after that just ask a small question without like smaller question. Yeah, but it is interesting because while you're not running this task, you don't get additional results. For example, we get one form. For example, it's always looks okay on the paper. Yeah, just try to simplify this set of options. It's ridiculous just to enumerate 5 times, each time is the same option. Yeah, we tried that, but when we embed one more form, it contains the same options.
Right.
And model tries to combine those like questions in one set and enumerate it in some way in group like this. All questions will be about pain in some
Yeah.
situations, and options will be none, mild, moderate, yeah, and next one, and extreme, for example. And after maybe 6 question, you can already forget those options, and we not come up at first for this. And we go with the next part, like if there are more than 5 questions, just try to repeat in middle those options also, and you don't know upfront until you try to talk with bot what kind of parts is better, which is worse.
Yeah. Yeah, but we know with the questionnaires, we have to be careful about the order and the
Yep.
presumption as well, the default. So it's like
Yep.
there's some workflow efficiencies that can happen, but there's some constraints there that also have to be.
Yeah. Also for wording constraints, maybe not talk too much. For example, maybe like 2-3 sentences at much. Or currently you have you see in my presentation sometimes there will be much of text. But this is completely by my prompt is written in that way.
But probably if it's very simple loop, so the speaker can influence agent. So can I ask him be like faster and use less words? And will it react?
Typically, if you don't support the features of the text-to-speech provider or what you use, they have some markup language to make the whole conversion from text to voice. When voice generated maybe faster or lower. If you don't have such one feature, you can do that. Typically, that you say.
Can I, at the beginning of dialogue, can you be very concise and do this questionnaire as fast as possible? Let's try it. Can we try it with your demo? So will it react on it, or it will follow system prompt and still like doing the long way?
Yeah, currently we don't support the way to make we don't support a way to customize the voice by speed.
It's not about speed of the voice. It's about the amount of. It's about the style how it's asking. So let's try it. Let's start the dialogue and ask him to be as concise and as fast as possible because we just have 3 minutes for the whole questionnaire.
Maybe this will not be that simple. Currently. For example, this Daniel's knee astrophy interview. We go to the latest prompt. System prompt. There are a lot of text.
Okay, let's start and let's at the dialogue, let's ask this guy to be. Let's just say that I only have 3 minutes for the talk. Can you do it as fast as possible? In the call.
Let's try. There may be some currently can be some problems, but because sometime my Firefox can steal the microphone from other applications. Let's try.
Hello, Miriam. This is a call from the surgical team. We're calling to check in with you before your upcoming hip replacement. I'll be asking you about 12 questions today, and it should take about 4 to 6 minutes. To start,
say you have only 3.
Surgery been feeling lately?
Hello. Could we just start as simple as possible? I have just 2 minutes.
I understand, Miriam. We'll keep this as brief as possible. To start, could you tell me a little about how the hip that's scheduled for surgery has been feeling lately?
Feeling super good.
That's great to hear. And on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is no pain and 10 is the worst imaginable, where would you put your pain today?
3.
No problem at all.
Oh.
I was just asking about your pain. On a scale of 0 to 10, where 0
go.
And if a completely normal hip is 100%, about what percent does this hip feel like 100. To you today? Thank you. And if a completely normal joint is 100%, about what percent
100.
does this hip feel? Thank you. If a completely normal hip is 100%, about what percentage does this hip feel like today?
100.
Okay, you broke your machine.
Thank you. Well, thinking about movement, how much trouble do you have with the sending?
Sorry, I don't have much time yet. I should go.
I understand, Miriam. We'll be quick. Could you tell me about how you?
Okay, let's stop it.
Standing up from a chair.
They're still not humans. Okay.
Because
But why it's so stupid? I don't know.
Recall my understanding.
Because you need to for this kind of turns you should specify in your prompt.
I don't think it's about prompt. I don't know what the model is inside.
This currently Gemini 2.5.
That's maybe the why it is so stupid.
Yeah.
Why are not
You know
using
the-
like better models, like at least like OpenAI or something like that?
This model currently is the fastest with latencies.
Mm.
Vitali, do you know if it was capturing your dialogue that we don't show it here, but was it capturing it on the log? Or did that also,
Yes.
do we lose all of your dialogue? Because at some point you just said you quickly spoke and then yeah.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. But she was asking you questions in between there, I think. That's
Mm-hmm.
see how it skips through the questions, P4, 5. So that's the other challenge is it's not capturing its own dialogue in the
No, yeah.
transcript.
I think this is the summer back, yeah, because previously I don't got similar anything. Yeah.
Ah, I see what you're saying. Between P4 and P5, the assistant gave a note to you clarifying the question.
All the way to P7. It was
Yeah.
asking questions and then Vitali was just jumping to the answer and it was jumping to the next question, but it was still transcribing a question, part of the question at least.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So shame on Google.
Yeah. Who's bad guy? Google bad guy.
But is it like multimodal agent, or you're translating to text and then LLM?
No, this is just yeah, LLM and different kinds of providers, STT and TTS.
Ah, so you're doing this translation. So this is not multimodal agent.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And this is here is currently maybe something wrong with my backend because if I hear it, it should be already in the transcript. Maybe some bug of format. Yeah, something else.
Okay, let's demo effect.
Yep, yep.
But latency was for you very important, and that's why you're picking Gemini?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because currently it has the better latency. It's maybe not that smart, maybe it's not good for a long list of questionnaires with long list of questions, but it's fast.
Mhm. Because I'm interacting a lot with OpenAI and Anthropic guys, and like top models. They should be smarter than what we heard now.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah, yeah. You already can pick up like voice to voice agent. They typically super quick and smart, but they have some problems with extraction data and with more they're not that smart like OpenAI latest models, and it's difficult to tune them also. They one in one pack solutions. Some part of them is okay, but some parts is not. They also, for example, have problems for identifying the end of turn of patient. Yeah. The main typical providers for speech to text make better results there. But it also like have some problems if you have some noisy environments and for example like I currently run in the browser, and if browser does not have any uh, active voice canceling, it can struggle for understanding what I do. Also, currently, when I ask to the talk to the bot, and also you maybe say something in the background, it goes from my speakers and also to the microphone. Sometimes it can take to the not the good position.
Okay. But as I know, this solution is going to production. So in a month, a couple of months, we will know.
Yep.
Will does it work or not? Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, it's tough, especially doing the web versus the native, because in native you get all kinds of controls about the built-in noise canceling so you don't get bleed and all these different things. And you don't get access to those controls via the web microphone controls. So
Yeah. There are like WebRTC technology. It's, for example, currently I use WebSockets, raw WebSockets, but there are like WebRTC technology in the web. It's more difficult to set up. You should have some additional servers like Turn and Surn server to one coordinator and second one for the traffic. But those technology already includes some active voice canceling and other stuff that's simplify conversations through internet.
I think WebRTC is built on top of this open source Google codec, yeah, or
I don't know exactly.
okay, yeah. But I think Google Meet is based on it, yeah.
Yeah, every solution for serious stuff in the web is built on it because it's also we have some parts like to handle interruptions, handle dropped packets, how to handle voice canceling, how to handle other stuff, but it's more complex in your infrastructure. Our solution also can support WebRTC, but we just strip it because it requires more servers to be.
But in production, are you gonna like use mobile phones and some
Yes.
telephony for that? Okay.
Exactly, mobile phones. That's why we do not pay that much attention to the browser stuff. It's typically for testing. Yeah. What else here? That our every answer carries a receipt. Every answer has like evidence, the part of phrases from which it's extracted, inferred. Some status, is it inferred or it's direct answer? Is it match one-on-one? Also, like confidence is for hearing part, like the STT model speech to text is hear your text, it can return you some data, like it for confident for this result, and also second one for LLMs, and like the provenance, we also put some extensions, our custom extension for now, for which prompt we use, which model we use, which version of the prompt, is all of stuff. Yep, and the almost last slide, I think. When the agent is end, when it creates questionnaire response, and after this, just extract operation from FHIR SDCs, come up for extract into observation, provenance, and other FHIR resources. Agent just for asking question, gathering answers, and build the complete questionnaire response is responsible. Yeah. And FHIR staff is responsible for additional validation and extracting data and store it in somewhere. And yeah, this is all maybe. And like Nikolai already said, this feature will be added to our form box solution, maybe next month, maybe in several months. And if you want something similar, come us to talk. We can build something interesting with it. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, sounds interesting, but not yet perfect.
Nice.
Completely. Yeah. All LLM stuff, it's about maybe how to say it more cleanly. It's confidence, but not 100%.
Mhm.
You know, I would also suggest, is it something that you're interested as a test case for the AI transparency on FHIR? I think, John, I
Yeah.
believe you were soliciting some. It seems like a perfect, because you're capturing some of the discussion we mentioned before, including confidence interval, and that was, I think, an open ticket. Like, if we capture it, where do we capture it, and how do we standardize it?
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, we just maybe come up maybe last week. I think maybe for your calls, yeah, we come up to those AI transparency implementation guide, and in some time we migrate to those to make it more standardized.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it'll capture what you're doing with the model part and then as well as provenance and then building in extensions. I mean, it would be good one to test out. It's exactly the scenario.
Yep. Currently, we almost all store in the same questionnaire response in the extensions. Every answer contains like complex extension with several nested extensions. Like already I said, what the phrase was be, what the status is direct answered or inferred, and what confidence in inference and what confidence in audio transcribing, and what model was used for that.
Okay, perfect.
And what prompt version of prompt was used.
Right.
Yeah, also I don't mention that we also have additional stuff for testing like call metrics, the whole latency for the whole pipeline and we store them also to database to make sure to improve these numbers in future also.
In what sense? The demographic data improve it?
No. Improving like the whole experience with the bot. Just latencies between the conversation, how models is. What was the latency for LLM model? What was the latency for TTS service, STT? Which part takes more? When we can switch model and look how it behaves at the same time with different like different configuration of different parts. And this will be good like audit logging for future problems and also for current examining different models and different stacks, the different technologies. This is the way how we find that Gemini 2.5 is the fastest. And it's bring more natural conversation for small amount forms. Yeah. But struggle in the complex.
Have you tried OpenAI Celebras like ChatGPT? And today I just saw the news that the guys are releasing for API the ChatGPT 5.6 Soul, and they make it 15 times faster than it's now. So
Ultra fast.
you may not do the compromise, the
Yeah.
smartest of so maybe you should try it. So
Yeah. Like this, the half of the story is the price of those souls. It will, if one call will cost maybe $15, no one will want to make those calls.
But is it really like close to that?
No, currently
So in terms of text, it's just one page of text. So I think it's a very small amount of tokens.
Just measure yesterday, maybe 5 minutes of the whole conversation takes maybe 50 cents, I think.
Okay.
If you just switch to like solve 5.6, it will increase 10 times, I think.
I don't know. So the price is going down for the tokens.
It's just temporary. All this stuff is super invested, reinvested.
Yeah, that's interesting. But let's see. I believe that it will be cheap and fast. So, and it's getting more cheap and fast.
Eventually.
Yeah, it should be that way. Yeah, or it will be dying.
Yeah. Does anybody had a good experience with the voice bots in real life? No yet. So that's my dream to that. So I even bought like the top subscription maybe like half year ago to talk to ChatGPT because I want to walk by the sea and like speaking. But now it's getting better. So now I can discuss some topics, not tough, but I know some topics. But it's still, it's still not the same experience as when you're texting.
Yeah. For me, interesting. I just come up yesterday with some like imagination how it's better maybe in the future when AI will be. Currently, we all working with the text, but everyone want to talk with own mouse. It's like faster, but text is also a big amount of text, it also difficult to and take much time to read, like review and other stuff. And imagine maybe there will be a voice from the like human and video like a response when you hit some video or maybe image, which can get some
It's meta glasses. Yes.
maybe I don't know. I think maybe like video, if you like ask do something, maybe build those stuff or maybe make those reports or maybe build this kind of application, and it will show me all the details which it built with focuses. I don't need to read the whole part. It can explain in a like, history fashion, like this part is built this way, look at it, it's have some this kind of conditions, this kind of options, this kind of states, and I don't need to read the whole part. And
But you can ask now this guy to make your visualization. So I'm doing this quite often. So when I'm working and it's a big topic, I'm asking to make some visualization, some schemas, some explanations.
But they're static.
Yeah.
If you get prepared video with the main focuses, when it's just go down and zoom in, zoom out with
It can do
all explanation.
some dynamic SVG and HTML with JavaScript. But that's funny stuff. Yeah, the last time I was doing, so I have a friend who is a painter, and she asked me to build the landing page for her exhibition. And I was quite lazy, so I have my WhatsApp connected, like my agents connected to WhatsApp, and this chat with this girl. So I just connected like my agent and said, read everything she is talking to you, and do it and deploy, and it really works. So yeah. So it really works. So it just read and answer, and she was like talking. She didn't know she's talking not to me, and then they finally kind of build. I just few times I joined a discussion like on the agent side, just giving some prompting to it. But finally, yeah, they too build this site with some small prompting from my side. Yes, and then the funny stuff. So she sent the photo of pictures and paintings, and they wasn't cropped. And what is your idea how to quickly crop the page? It's like 20 or 30 images. How to quickly crop them?
Make screenshot.
Yeah, that's kind of you can open, you can do the manually. I just ask it, hey guy, can you like try to do it with a Python as well to build for me the one page with the JavaScript when I can quickly crop all images, and you will remember and crop them. It took like 2 minutes to build this page for cropping. I spent like 1 minute just quickly cropping like every picture and just pressing button, and it was done. Yeah. So then she sent the newest version. So I spent like 2-3 minutes, but it's something new that you can build the tool on fly in a couple of minutes. Yeah. So that for me it's like kind of the new way of thinking, that you can build the tool for one-time job.
The new era of one-time tools.
And for the voice, is anybody using like something like Flow to dictate prompts, and just printing old school typing?
I've been doing a lot with, I'm using Crisp ASR as a normalization layer for ASR and text to speech and all that. So they have, I don't know what they're up to now, but they support like 40, 50 backends. And so it's very interesting because you play with the different word error rates versus performance versus which languages it supports versus, the features like the diarization and things like that to go back and forth. So it's interesting. I need better hardware at my house though, because doing test runs takes days still. So
some of our programmers are using this Whisper stuff, so it's quite good.
Yeah.
And I see there's a lot of progress in voice, like TTS and speech to text. So like every week something new happening. So
Yeah, I also posted like Open Whisper.
Yep.
It can give you ability to connect every third-party provider if you
mhm. I heard that the Apple like making this like built-in TTS and it's quite good, yeah,
don't know.
as a part of Mac and iPhone. So
Oh, no, it's not good.
it's not good.
I tried it. That is embedded. Tried it. Well, maybe my English not that good. It's have so many mistakes there, and Russian also.
Yes. That's why you need all the different models because they all have
Yeah,
their different pluses and minuses so far.
yeah.
If you want to be able to run things small, if
But
not, Mixtral, Voxel, and things like that are really good and pretty
mhm.
cheap.
Jenny, you said that Josh built some real-time agent for meetings. What technology
We
was
were
it?
playing with it, so he and I have been in a friendly competition, building up all that kind of stuff, as we tend to do. And so it's yeah, he has sometimes you'll see in a meeting with him JoshBot, and he uses the Mixtral. Speaking of, he uses the Mixtral streaming APIs, and just has it do minutes while it's in the meeting. Mine I'm still playing with because I'm less interested in live minutes than I am in long-term things that I can review and edit and all that kind of stuff. And so that's why I'm playing with local kinds of stuff to see what
Mhm.
happens with that and all that. It's a very interesting, getting the speaker diarization right and making sure that it has hot words across. And I'm trying to do it with that you can sub in different models for different use cases and all these kinds of things. It's an interesting, hobby for spare time.
Mhm.
When you have spare tokens, I guess it's not even spare time. When you have spare
Yeah.
tokens to play.
But what is the like first value you want to get? So you're sitting on a meeting, so the agent is reading in real time, like all the
So
texts, and what you want
my
to get from it? Yeah.
long term, I want to play with a bunch of things, and that's why I'm trying to figure out which things can be local and which things aren't. There's a lot of how we work, the future of work type stuff, that I think we need to be doing better in general in HL7. But things like when we call for votes, we still have people like a chair actually asking for the votes, and everyone has to stop. And you're counting hands and things like that. And it's like we can probably do better if we have some integrated tooling that can, literally just put your hand up in there if you agree or disagree, things like that. Use an emoji. Um, Different pieces like that that we can do. And just all the pieces about taking minutes during the meetings,
Mhm.
finding the links. I'm sure most people, if you attend HL7 calls, the minutes can be hit or miss, depending on what you do. And that's why, to me, there's something nice about live because you can be seeing it while you're doing it. But as we were just discussing in the thing earlier, if you want live and accurate, you're paying a lot more money.
Yeah.
And so then you get back to the thing of saying, well, how do we keep it cheap? And so that's to me that I'm willing to sacrifice live and say, okay, well, I can fill in the minutes after, as long as there's some rough information before. And I do that on a lot of the meetings, especially when I'm chairing and doing the minuting and things like that. So it's working pretty well so far. As long as you
Mhm.
get, a decently diarized transcript out, then you can feed it into more complex models to do things like extract the minutes and give me the copy paste into Confluence and all that kind of stuff. So stages, we'll see, but
Yeah, cool.
things to
I
make our lives better.
yeah.
Like you're saying, that's the idea. Is whatever your pain point is, make it
Yeah.
better.
Hi Jade, do you have a like voice in your HR already or not yet?
No, we will, excuse me, it's something that we're going to be working towards within the next few months, a scribe. And I actually had a question for, excuse me, yeah, scribe for ambient listening. Um, we have a, it's pretty clear how we'll accomplish that for individual sessions, but in where we do a lot of actually our market that we serve is addiction treatment. A lot of our providers have do group therapy, and this is like the one thing that they're asking for is like, hey, I want to be able to have an AI scribe a group session, and that diarization is something that like I'm a little bit of a loss on how we're going to approach that. So, I'm curious if you've which models or
Yeah. So I've been playing with it for a long time. That's why I've been using that. I put the link in there earlier, the Crisp ASR as an intermediate, just because they highlight in the model comparisons. You can go through and see a lot of the different models and see which ones support things like being able to extract the diarization embeddings and things like that. And that way you can start playing with that and tweaking it. I haven't solved it yet. I haven't like cracked it that it works perfectly. But it's getting there. Probably, I don't get to work on it all the time. So a few more weeks, hopefully, weeks to months time frame, and it'll be something that's more usable. And that's true with all tools because I've used paid services before, like the, Crisp or some of the meeting ones, and some do better and some do worse. And sometimes you get a conflated speaker and you can't decouple them because they're too similar. So it's never going to be perfect. You can play additional, if you're setting up the room, for instance, you can play some additional tricks because if you have access to things like positional audio based on track recordings and things like that, then you can get a little more into it because you can see. And so I've been playing with that in meeting stuff, like separating out the speaker audio from the room versus the speaker that's coming through the meetings, and then you get at least one free diarization for at no cost because it's in a separate audio track, different things like that. But
it should be easier if you're online, because if you can jump inside the platform streaming, so you understand who is speaking now. So
yes,
if you're recording it from outside, it's a problem. If
yes,
you can be inside, it should be trivial, or at least the video may help. Yes, as I know,
and that's
like
why
Circleback and other models, they're using video as an extra hint who is speaking.
Yep. And so that's why I've been playing with that, and like, I set up my Zoom API key and all that kind of stuff, but it's like you have to publish the app if you want to be integrated with the platform, and then there's costs, and they started introducing, well, you can't use it for transcription. You have to use the Zoom transcription that costs money. If not, they pull the plug on your app and, different things like that, that it's like,
The Zoom transcription is terrible.
It is, but you have to pay them you pay different amount per minute when you're accessing Zoom calls. Like if you say you're doing transcription and you don't want to use Zoom transcription, you pay a different rate and all this kind of stuff just to have access to calls. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of that. And so that's why I was saying earlier too about the things about platform audio versus what you can capture with virtual devices or not. And there's fun differences between Mac and Windows because I'm doing everything full cross-platform. But I would like it to work for me. I would like it to work when I'm at a work group meeting as well, which is the same problem that we have a room with 20, 30 people, and we want to be able to diarize between all of that. So my stuff's on GitHub, but I think it's still private because I'm not happy enough with it yet to make it public. So at some point I'll make it all public. But yeah.
Are you familiar with a tool called Granola?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say it again, or can you send it to the chat? Is it good? AI? Is it good tool, Brian?
Yeah, I use it to do AI summaries of my meetings, and it doesn't, and it also works on your phone, so you can use it as a phone dialer too to record and summarize.
Yep, and that's why there's a whole class of these. Yeah, there's whole classes of these. And Open Whisper that you had before can do the same thing, that it can record locally on your computer and grab your meeting minutes and things like that. Actually, no. Yeah, is that the right one? Yes. Yeah. So you can do, yeah, OpenWhisper has AI meeting notes as well. And so that's why there's whole classes of these things. I've used a few different ones, and then I'm like, like you're saying, I can write my own tool. I can have it do what I want. And so this way I can have a little more control over it and hopefully get it more integrated with, and that's the dream, all the other stuff we've been working on about Jira and Zulip and Confluence and all these types of things, so that we can have it helping during the meetings instead of just us relying on volunteers to do all those pieces.
Yeah. I saw Google Health, yes, we're a little bit out of time, but Google Health team, they released like virtual visit with a generated video. So they like generating not just voice, but like physician avatar. Yes, I forgot the name, so I can quickly send the link. Yeah. But that's interesting. So it's as well, it's a very early stage, but like eventually, but they even trying to do some physical examination from video, so they may ask you to do something.
Yeah.
And they reported, yeah, that it works. Yeah. Probably not with Gemini or with a different version.
Yeah, they use the high-end models for those. I'll be curious to see how all that interplays with, I was asking earlier, the EU AI Act, the Article 50. So we'll be curious to see how all that plays out over time for things like that. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you, guys. So living in an interesting time.
For sure.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks all.
Oh, good night. Yeah. Bye.
Good night.